Hi guys, good evening out there. It's a beautiful Saturday. Welcome to my YouTube channel. This is the voice of TRADEWITHWORLDBANK. If this is the first time of watching a YouTube video of mine, make sure to click on the subscribe button and also don't forget to turn on the notification icon so you can get notified whenever I drop beautiful contents like this. Okay. Last week we didn't do a lot of analysis, then we stopped last week. So last 2 weeks, like I said, if you had been following these setups, you would have taken some pips out of these points here. And moving to Euro CHF, for the purpose of this channel, we always work with Euro CHF, Euro USD, and GBP JPY. Okay. Now, analyzing Euro CHF, let's start with the weekly and then the daily. Okay. Now, the weekly is bearish and then it is mitigating a weekly supply zone. As you can see here, a break of structure, and then we had the mitigation and it's coming down so nice. Okay, so I explained all this some weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, for those that have been following so well, and then it has been playing out very, very nicely. Remember, I said I was waiting for a change of character here when it hits the weekly zone. Then going down to the daily time frame, remember we refined this zone up to this point, then it didn't mitigate, but I said since it hits the weekly zone and then that giving me the change of character on the 1 hour time frame, that already giving me the change of character on the 1 hour time frame, that giving me the break of structure, and then those structures and supply zones were holding. So then I was looking to, I was telling you guys that you can look for selling opportunities along the line, since it had given us the confirmation we need, even on a very big time frame, like a 1 hour time frame. You understand? So taking counter trend trades to supply zones, this is a buy opportunity you could have taken, and a 1 hour break of structure, you have taken your 1 hour trade here and then waiting for it to mitigate the supply zones and keep coming down, keep the coming down. So we're inside this range now on Euro CHF, right? We're inside a very beautiful range inside on Euro CHF. And then remember, weekly we are still planning to go down, but now the 4 hour time frame is showing us range, and then the 1 hour time frame is also showing us ranges. So before I move into the volatility index, stay tuned and make sure you watch till the end, because I'm also going to be analyzing some volatility index pairs. Yeah, the 1 hour is also showing us the trade range. Okay, so that is what we have. That is the information this chart is giving us right now. And then what are we looking for? We're looking for selling opportunities, remember, because we are coming from a weekly mitigated supply zone and then want to continue the sales. Okay, so let's move to the daily time frame and check for supply zones that markets can buy up. We have supply zone there, and we have a break of structure here, right? That's a break of structure. You can call that break of structure. You can also call it change of character, because it's the first break of structure after this impulsive move to the upside. You can call it break change of character, but for the purpose of this video, I'm going to be keeping it simple and calling it break of structure to make things easy. Now we have this supply zone, unmitigated fresh supply zone. We have imbalance there. The markets might want to fill before coming down again. You understand? So that is what I want to work with right now. Now going down to the 4 hour time frame, you can refine the zone up to these points. But remember, if it is not refined on the daily and it has mitigated on the daily and it is giving you confirmation entry, then you can just take your trade from this zone, or else you wait for it to enter the 4 hour time frame mitigated zone. Okay, so now this one is going to be a little bit long trade. It's going to be a little bit long trade. So what can we do inside this range? Well, market wants to tap into this supply zone imbalance area. So moving to the 1 hour time frame, you can see we are still inside this beautiful range. Market has been spiking to the upside and to the downside. Well, by the way, you can look for demand zones or supply zones. We have a demand zone here, right? There's a break of structure to the upside. There's a break of structure to the upside like that. And we can wait for a mitigation like this. Okay, we can wait for investigation into this demand zone. Wait for investigation into this demand zone, and then take prices to higher levels. Okay, so for me, I would say market has grabbed the liquidity of this range here, because we have, this is the low, and then market has pierced that low already. Market that pierced that low, market that grabbed the liquidity, is moving to the upside. So I always like to move with where the direction of liquidity is going. Market grab liquidity to the upside, so then I know that that's some sort of wyckoff. Either I'm correct or wrong. This is my preliminary supply. This is the selling climax. Preliminary supply, is it the preliminary supply? No, first, is this support now? I've forgotten actually. You understand what I'm trying to say here? What is the name of this first zone here? It's not a preliminary supply, it's like the preliminary supports, the selling climax. This is the ST, the tests, the secondary tests. This one might be a phase B like this, and then this is the what? Spring. Okay, so when this is the spring, liquidity grab has happened, you are going to be looking for entry on this demand zone. Remember, we want to look for entry on this demand zone. I hope you guys are going to make use of this analysis. Then you can take prices higher, you understand? So for now, I'm not looking for any sell opportunity. I was looking at this wyckoff accumulation here. It looks like it wants to buy to the upside after grabbing liquidity here, you understand? So this is what I'm expecting on Euro CHF. Okay, Euro CHF, let me draw my 2. Then after that, you can use aggressive entry here since it is wyckoff without waiting for confirmation. And then if you still want to wait for confirmation, you can always do that, looking for confirmation up to this point. Okay, but since it's wyckoff, you can use aggressive entry. So this is where your stop loss is going to be. You can use conservative entry using half of the zone. You can see now to reduce it just to like 5 pips or 6 pips SL. So that is what I'm expecting. And if you want to wait for confirmation, wait for a break of structure, change of character, and so on. Okay. Now let's move to the second pair, which is going to be Euro USD. Wow, what do we have here? Wow, in fact, what I drew out played out. So I think I didn't explain this during the weekly classes I always drop, but I sent this one to my students during the Sunday classes. Okay, you can see it's played out exactly. Change of character, break of structure, and then in fact, it's the way I drew it. This is very, very crazy, right? So let's go to my YouTube session. I think I paused it somewhere here. I want to see this. I want to see a change of character. I want to see this. I want to see a break of structure. Then I would like to look for entries on this break of structure on the 15 minutes time frame. Wow, so as beautiful as this looks like, jokingly, it's, as you can see, so this is the beautiful content I always drop for my students every Sunday when they ask me to help them to analyze a particular pair. So you can see, like I said, I was waiting for a change of character. It's happened, waiting for a break of structure. It's happened. Then at the point of break of structure, I'll be waiting for what's my entry, which I'll be looking for, or which day should be looking for on Monday, Tuesday to Friday. So if you are my student and you're watching this, don't worry, we're even going to have a class tomorrow. I'm going to make a recap on this and how you guys should enter. So what is the bias and brain behind this trade? I'll just analyze it and I won't really go deep into it. Yeah, mitigating 4-hour supply zone, and then we're expecting something beautiful. Yeah, so that's just it. Market was very, very bearish. This is the daily zone here. We have a daily zone here, that green candle here. That's a daily supply zone. Okay, so mitigating it, entering into the 1-hour time frame, giving us what we want. So Euro USD, what am I expecting? I'm expecting it to be bearish from next week. Understand? I'm expecting it to be bearish. So that is what I'm expecting. Look for your entries, guys. Look for your entries. Remember, any analysis I make on my YouTube videos, they are always at least 1 out of these 3 will surely play out well and will be profitable. So look for your entries around supply zones and milk it. I trust you guys. So this is This is the blueprints and it has played out already. Now, lastly, let's move to the last pair before we move to binary indices. Euro GBP JPY. GBP JPY also played out last week, mitigating the supply zone here. If you follow this, and now it's here. So now let's move to the weekly time frame check. Weekly time frame has been so bullish. Like I said, it was just a little bit of retracement to continue going up. Looking at the retracement, what caused this retracement? We talked about this last week. This demand zone is gated and then has been going up since then. Broke this supply zone, as you can see, broke out from this supply zone. Now let's check this daily supply zone if it gave us 1 hour entry, which is the change of character, break of structure, and break of structure. Let's check. You can see it only give us one change of character, no break of structure, no break of structure. Unlike Euro USD, where the change of character, where the break of structure, and then the break of structure is about to happen again. So that is what I would always like to see when I'm taking trades from higher time frames like this, like the daily time frame. So you can see these are ways to filter out trades and save yourself from unnecessary stress of forcing trades while it is at a demand zone or while it is at a supply zone. Now you can see market has broken out from this 4-hour supply zone and 1-hour supply zone. What do we need to look for? We need to continue with the order flow here. And right now the order flow is so bullish. Now going out to the 1-hour time frame, what can we do? Let me delete this. What can we do? We have multiple zones here. It has been flying up, so we have multiple zones. Remember, markets would always try to mitigate the nearest zones because definitely it's can't expect it to come all the way down to this zone. You know, it has to give you some sort of price action and it's way coming down. So even if it's coming down, it must have given you a break, change of character, a break of structure, and then you must have been entering somewhere around here. Yeah. So it's always very nice to take note of all these zones, though they are very important because they always still get mitigated at one point in time, maybe probably in the future. Now we have liquidity zone, liquidity here. We have imbalance here. There's a break of structure to that upside. Break of structure to the upside. I love this zone because it looks like a kind of textbook setup. I'll be targeting anywhere you want to target. I know most people can't target up to this. Even me can't target up to this. Once I see 1 to 5, once I see 1 to 4, done. Okay. No, but this one is just expectation that this at least market should touch this high after giving us beautiful entries at this point. Now this one is going to take a little bit of time before it mitigates to this supply zone, to this demand zone. So what can we do here? Like I said, wait for a change of character. Wait for it to break out. That'll give you the change of character. Wait for it to mitigate that supply zone, and then you can look for entries around these points. And then from there, you move to the downside and you move also to the upside. So just be flexible. You don't need to force one kind of setup, one kind of bias. Flexible, move with the flow of others, move with other flow, and then it's going to be fine. So for this one, wait for a change of character. Let it mitigate, let it cause a break of structure. Let it cause a break of structure. And then you can look for your entries around that point. Okay. I think that will be all for now on currency pairs, right? On currency pairs. So if this doesn't play out, don't force yourself to sell. If this doesn't play out, don't force yourself to sell. Then let's just sell massively and then take your buy opportunities and go to the moon. You understand? So I'm going to be saving this also. I'm going to be saving this so we can all come back to reference it by next week, Saturday. Okay. And we also have a zone here, but I didn't select this zone because of the liquidity below the zone. But it still doesn't matter if there's liquidity below the zone. It all points down to taking your confirmation before entry. If I get a buy confirmation here as this demand zone, then you can take it to the upside. And using Fibonacci, let's check the zones that are valid from these two zones here. First of all, let's use this indicator here. What's the name of this indicator? I forgot. Honestly forgot. Volume profile. Let's check this. It should be this. Let me just add everything. Okay. So from here, this is the correct one. Okay, there. So let's check the valid zone. It will give us the volume. Wow. So it's telling us that there's volume, there's a lot of buyers here, there's a lot of buyers here. Okay, let me start from here, right? Let's start from here. Yeah, let's start from here. Okay. That is not what I want to see. What is this one? Yeah, from there. Okay, so I think we should be going with the first zone, which is telling us that the volume is at this middle. So now let's use Fibonacci and okay, so we have 0.618 exactly on this zone. So I think that zone is very, very valid. Instead of waiting for sales here. So you might not need to wait for all this confirmation again, since it's no longer a very, very wide range to work with. You understand? Not a very wide range to work with. So looking for change of character, looking for break of structure, and then looking for entry might not make sense since we are using this zone, right? Hadn't been we were using this zone, that peradventure would have tried to work with change of character and break of structure. Okay, I think that will be all for currency pairs. Let me also draw my tool here because I love referencing when it plays out. Yeah, so you can always reference. It's always good to be there. Yes, and lastly, I'm going to be talking about volatility indices. As you can all see, volatility indices. I always trade only crash 1000. Yeah, my students know about this and has been doing the most. Okay, so same thing, draw out your supply zone, look for your entries. Let's backtest a little bit. See, supply zone, work structure, mitigated. So it all points down to also finding your entry. It's very, very important. You know, trading crash to me is like one-sided kind of trading because I only look for selling opportunities, because it spikes to the downside. So I always only look for sell opportunities. As you can see, I have only the sell indicator here, sell short position. That's because it's only crash I deal with on volatility. Okay, so supply zones. And what am I expecting on crash? Let's just fast forward a little bit. Investigating this higher supply zone here, I'm expecting an entry here. Definitely, I'm going to wait for confirmations. I'm going to wait for confirmations here. If I don't get the confirmation here, then probably it wants to mitigate this premium supply zone. So definitely, it all points down to what? Looking for entries. I'm definitely going to be looking for entries here, and then we'll go short. Okay, so let's look into volatility. Volatility 75 1S index, and then volatility 75 index. I'll be analyzing just those two because those are the most popular ones. As you can see, there are a lot of pairs there, and I can't analyze everything. It's going to take a lot of time. Now let's move to the daily time frame. Volatility doesn't really give stress, so I only work with the daily. Currently, that always cracks you up with news and so on and so on. That's a daily supply zone being mitigated nicely. Now let's move to the 4-hour time frame. Entering into the 4-hour time frame, you can refine the zone up to this point. Wow, that's a very, very pinpoint entry, right? Now going out to the 1 hour time frame. Yeah, now this is the 1 hour time frame, right? So we are still very, very bearish on volatility. 75 index. Okay, so make sure you look for shorting positions, shorting opportunities. We still have this fresh unmitigated supply. We also have this fresh unmitigated supply. It all points down to giving you entry. Now let me add one more point to this GBP JPY. GBP JPY, the indicators telling us that we have buying position here doesn't mean we should go aggressive. You understand? It's just an indicator indicating to us that this, there is pressure here. So if you don't get entry here, you can definitely wait for these points and then wait for entries. Because the indicators are telling us this doesn't mean that might pull. You understand? So that is just what I wanted to talk about on GBP JPY. Now let's look for short-term opportunities here. What about long opportunities? Let's go to the 4 hour time frame. Yeah, still have some extreme zones to look for buying opportunities. Don't just jump straight into buying, wait for confirmations before entering. And then the last one is going to be volatility 75 1S index. Okay, volatility 75 1S. And you can go down to 30 minutes here to refine some zones. So my tool has disappeared. But going now to 30 minutes time frame here, we had this beautiful break of structure. Break of structure there gave us mitigation. So that might be your entry if you are type that uses bigger time frames to enter structure, and then there's also another break of structure here for your second entry, or what we know as what's re-entry. Okay, that is very, very beautiful. We have two beautiful entries. Okay, let's assume the stop loss is above, or let's assume it's got it, you will still have gotten entry at the second point. So you can see, then it dropped nicely. I don't want to go down to the 5 minutes and then 1 minute for multiple confirmation and so on, because of the tools, they will disappear. I only want to analyze and show us little things. Okay, let's move to volatility 75 1S index. I really, really love that pair so much, but now I'm only trading crash 1000. So this one has been ranging and really has nothing, you can see now it's ranging. When market is ranging, always looking for liquidity grab. Let's just move to the 1 hour straight up. Let's move to the 1 hour straight up. I'm seeing something beautiful. Yeah, so like this now, it's looking like a what redistribution for WYCKOFF, because it had already grabbed liquidity the upside. It already grabbed liquidity here. So this is the zone that caused the liquidity grab, as you can see. Grab liquidity from this supply zone. This resistance 5-1 has always repeats itself. I've traded something similar to this before. You can see grab liquidity. So it's like a redistribution, and I always want to follow the zone the direction that grabbed liquidity. So we have another zone here. Now some people might ask that why didn't I use this zone and say, okay, there's a WYCKOFF liquidity grab here also. I wouldn't say that, because when looking at this up here, we had our zones 1, 2, 3, almost like crazy. We had a lot of multiple zones inside, giving us more zones to grab liquidity, right? But looking at just this side, we had just how many zones? 1, 2, 3, and probably this one that has even grabbed the liquidity already. This one has grabbed this liquidity. Also, this one has grabbed this liquidity, right? So I also grab this liquidity. So for me, you might still say, okay, you want to look for buying opportunities here too, since that's what caused liquidity graph. You can see here, it broke the structure, the demand failed, right? So definitely it's a redistribution, not a reaccumulation like what we are seeing on Euro CHF. You can see this one is so clear. Grab liquidity to the downside, moving up. So I want to also move up with the trend. So same thing here also. Grab liquidity to the downside. It's coming down, so I also want to move down with the trend. Wherever the liquidity directs me, that's where I want to look for more and multiple entries. Okay. So guys, I think I've been able to analyze a little bit for you. For those that trade volatility indices and the likes. If you don't know that this thing works on boom and crash, you can check it out and check it out. So there are also some warnings on trading boom and crash with this strategy, because uh you need to just practice and take your time to understand your way around it, you understand. So at this point, I'm gonna say, if you've been enjoying my content so far, click on the like button. If you have any questions or you want to join my mentorship or my signal groups, it's lifetime access. You get signal, you get setups, you get everything you need, you get the strategy also. 100 USD, message me. If you have a question, let me know. Comment it in the comment box. Make sure you share this video to your friends. Make sure you also subscribe if you are a new member to this channel. I'm gonna say peace, guys. I'm out.